Okay, so a lot of you have asked how I gather elite clue scrolls, and the quick answer is shadow creatures in a personal slayer dungeon. It's currently one of the best methods of gathering elite clues as of now. So today I'll be showing you a guide on how I hunt them for elite clues. First, the setup. Nothing too fancy here, mostly just your regular AFK melee setup. But a few things I want to highlight. First is the choice of armor. You can see I have a weird setup ranging from T70 to T90, and you can ignore that and just use full Tova or Masterwork. The reason why I use Bandos Tassets is because it has Scavenging Tree, and I wouldn't recommend full Bandos here because you get hit too much to be able to sustain your HP. The other perks I have are Precise 4, Equilibrium 2 and Aftershock 3 on my scythe, Scavenging Tree and Biting Tree, Impatient Tree and Crackling Tree. Another thing I want to highlight is the weapon. I've tested both the scythe and the ZGS, and the scythe is the better choice here due to its extended range, which I will talk about later. You can also use a Dragon Rider Lance, but you may have to use a Vampirism Scrimshaw to make up for the slightly lower damage. Next, the action bar. First, I'd like to clarify that I'm not a DPS expert, but I've tested different rotations for this application, and this seems to work best for me. So feel free to adapt from this bar. But basically, you want to use as many AoE abilities as possible, so your Hurricane, Quake and Cliff. Okay, next is the dungeon setup. You want either 5 truthful shadow creatures or 4 truthful and 1 blissful shadow creature, depending on what prayer you are using, and I'll explain why. Because this is an AFK setup, and the goal is to heal enough prayer using the penance aura without having to drink prayer potions. So if you're going to use Tamoy, the T95 prayer, you should be able to recover enough prayer using the aura. However, if you're using the T99 prayer, you will struggle to keep your prayer up without potions. And that is the purpose of the blissful shadow creature, because it hits harder and you recover more prayer from the penance aura. Alright, getting there is very straightforward. You can either teleport there with your Slayer Codex if you have 50 souls, or use a cheap house teleport tab to Manaforce Ports District. From there, take your boat to the Slayer dungeon. And once you are here, you want to drink your aggression potion and overloads and start farming your elites. One last thing before you go, you want to stand where I'm standing now so that your scythe can reach 2 spawn locations. And this is important if you want to maximize your kills, because many times they will spawn and wait a few seconds before even starting to attack you, and using a scythe allows you to draw them in with your AoE abilities. And that's about it. Just a short guide on how I kill shadow creatures for elite clues. Happy clue hunting!